Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at out in social media land, YouTube land, however you're streaming or watching our show. Welcome to Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve. Of course, I'm Ray Amanat here in sunny Port Richey, Florida, and I have my co-host, Mr. Steve Reed. I don't know why I'm talking like William Shatner, but Steve Reed from somewhere in northern Texas. Steve, I hope you had a happy Christmas, and now we're gonna talk about getting ready for the new year coming 2023. I can't wait to get out of 2022 because this year sucked. Can I say that again?
Uh,
Sucked.
well, let's say between 2021 and 2022, four 3+ hour surgeries on my leg, uh, people shutting down before Thanksgiving and not wanting to really do business after Thanksgiving. Um, I would tend to agree with you. This last 30, 45 days has been insane for me.
I
So,
can only imagine.
I no, you don't want to imagine. I promise you do not want. Ray, I made a mistake. I mean, I admit it. Here we are in public airwaves or whatever. I tried a different lead source program, and I stopped using the one lead source I use for my coaching practice. And the second source that I tried, oh, I'm never going back to that. I went back to my first source and picked up 3 new clients in 3 days. Whereas with the other source, I was getting nothing. So between my surgery in the second week in November, Thanksgiving, trying a different lead source, that was what we call a perfect storm
Sure.
for collapse. So I am so looking forward to 2023.
Me too. Me
So
too.
we're
Can,
we're
can I start something off by saying thank God for Donald Trump and the Supreme Court justices that he
oh,
put in
absolutely,
to kind of
absolutely.
ensure the borders stay closed, even though
Yeah,
our current administration is doing nothing to
Uh,
help.
no, no,
Uh,
no, no, no. Right, right. They are doing everything to keep it open. They're not
no,
doing
I
nothing
know
to keep it
they're
closed.
not they're not doing anything to close the borders or secure the
Yeah,
borders.
but taking it a step
Um,
farther, they're doing everything to keep it open and encourage people to come in.
well, thank you, Supreme Court, even though it was a 5-4 vote
That's insane. It's
for keeping
morons,
the
morons.
Trump
Yeah,
law in place, but
yeah.
that's to me still only a band aid, only a band aid,
Ray,
and hopefully the new Congress in 2023 is gonna come up with better solutions for dealing with immigration and the border
I,
crisis.
I agree with you, but here are two problems. Number one problem, what you just said about the new Congress. The I'm not going to say what I want to say about Mitch McConnell and the buffoons that voted for the Omni stick this thing up your rear end bill that they just passed. They have tied the hands of the incoming House of Representatives until October. So they're not going to be able to do the things that they need to do to really close the border for another 10 months. Thank you, moron Mitch McConnell. I'm
Right.
sorry. Anyway, that's number one. Number
I've got
two,
other adjectives to describe Mitch
well, we're
McConnell,
not
but
going to we're not going to go there. This is a family show, okay? But then also, I don't know if you saw this or not. I don't remember who the reporter was. She was definitely not a journalist, but she's blaming Republicans, and she's blaming people like Texas Governor Greg Abbott and your
hmm
governor Ron DeSantis. She's blaming the two of them and Republicans for the influx of people because we are saying the border's open. And she, well, yeah, of course. You're telling people the border's open, so you're inviting people in. The president's not doing that. I'm like, What planet did you fall off of?
No, he just happens to be going on another vacation to
Yeah,
the Virgin Islands,
uh,
work on his tan a little bit while
uh,
we have people dying in severe winter storms up in New York or up in the East Coast. You
yep,
have the border crisis,
yep.
and you
Fentanyl
have
drugs.
inflation, and you have fentanyl, and you have all these things going on with the country. But well, hold on. I think I deserve a vacation. It's ridiculous. If you're the head of a company, and yes, you deserve a vacation, but if something happens that's a crisis, like with what's going on with Southwest Airlines,
Yeah,
that person is not going to go on vacation. He's going to go to work and he's going to try to fix the problem.
yeah. And,
And here
and
we
the,
have the leader of the United States. You have a million things going wrong with our country, and he's taking a vacation.
Well, and you don't go to work from 9 to 2 and then take a nap and then come back at 4 and start working for another hour. Oh, it's dinner time and I have to entertain people, and then you take another nap. I mean,
Right.
I'm sorry, Ray, you left out one of the biggest ones. Well, two of the biggest ones. Number one is our food crisis. Our food supply is starting to dry up. We're having problems.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two is our oil and gas, or our energy crisis that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, we had a cold spell here in North Texas for 4 or 5 days, 6 days, something like that. Thankfully, the bozos with ERCOT, which is the regulatory commission for the state of Texas, thankfully they didn't do moronic things like they did earlier in the year, where they shut down our grid
Right.
because, well, we can't afford to do this. We're going to overload. Oh, shut up and go back to Canada. I'm sorry. I just
Well, talk about a food shortage. The people that are dealing with 3 feet, 4 feet of snow, that they have to hunker down. They can't drive. They're using forklifts or tractors or whatever to move cars out of the way so they can clean the
yeah,
roads. And there's
exactly.
no way people are going to have access to go to a food store,
So
grocery
true.
store, or anything like
So
that.
true.
I feel so bad for those people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and they're
Um,
desperate. They're
yeah,
desperate to do anything. Ray, here's one of the
I'm
things,
so
and
glad I moved to Florida.
oh,
I'm just
you're
saying.
a smart man. One of the things, and I'm still doing the research on it, but we need to do an entire show about electric vehicles.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, let me rephrase that. Coal powered vehicles,
Right.
or natural gas powered vehicles,
The
or
amount of energy that they use just to charge them up.
hello. But where's the energy coming from?
Your
The
coal
energy's
plants.
coming from coal and natural gas and a little bit of nuclear.
Hmm.
It's not coming from, well, I just plug it in. Well, where do you think the power comes from, you moron?
Right.
What is wrong with people? I do not get. Now, if you live in upstate New York, you are getting your power from water, okay? Because of Niagara Falls, okay? You're getting a lot of power from water when you're out in the western part of the country from Hoover Dam, Boulder Dam, whatever you want to call it, okay? But okay, so they've got wind farms in West Texas, okay? Yippee doo. When it's too cold, those turbines freeze.
Right.
So you're not getting it from the wind and solar. Wow, it only takes 463 million solar panels to power up one city.
Well, again, these are all the things that have been going on in years 2021, years
Yes.
2022.
Yep.
And let's look at 2023 and how can we make you have a whole workbook that you've got set up. How
I
can we
do.
make 2023 a positive one or successful one? I mean,
What a great
we've
start
got
to a
one of
program.
our viewers that's saying our leaders are letting our country fall apart as a part of a bigger plan.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think she's right.
Yeah, I would
Um,
agree. I would agree.
They want our country to fail for some reason,
Yeah,
and let's prop up China, let's prop up
yeah.
other nations, but and let's worry about the Ukraine border, but we're not worried about our own border. I mean, I just don't get it.
Or borders in Egypt or Uganda or whatever in Europe. Okay,
Between
but we don't.
Palestine and Israel, I
Yeah,
mean,
but
it's
but we don't care about the Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California borders. We don't care about those borders. Bring them in, okay? Bring them in. The fentanyl, oh, absolutely. Do you realize, Ray, there is enough fentanyl that's coming in
that could
to
kill.
kill
Yes,
three over 350 million people. The United States only has 330 million.
somebody said
Okay.
on the news that there's enough fentanyl coming in that could kill every person in the United States twice.
Oh,
That's how
twice. I
much is
haven't heard
coming
that
in.
one. Oh, geez.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, before we go any further, Ryan, we have to remind our audience Taboo Talk is an opinion based program. It's our opinions. Now, we happen to be right, so other opinions, counter opinions, you're wrong. Let's just face it, and we're going to move on. So, we've given our disclaimer, so I'm going to turn our
And we're
disclaimer
always happy
off.
to debate you. So
No,
you guys
absolutely.
can you
Bring
can
it.
send comments to us and we'd be
Bring
happy
it.
to talk to you about those
Bring
comments.
it. All right. All right. So Ray, let's go forward and before we do, we're going to get into some goal setting and planning and strategic things. Before we do, Ray, let's make a very positive transition and let's talk about personal self-defense. Is that okay? Can we talk about heroes in action for
Yeah, it's
just
one
a
of my
moment?
favorite topics actually.
Well, then why don't I do this? Why don't I share with our listening audience and our viewing audience a real short video that talks about the incredible heroes in action?
Hi, welcome to Heroes in Action. I'm Ray Amanat, founder and creator of this training system. I originally made it so that everyone can train for free. We have programs for kids, for women, families, and businesses. I'm an author, speaker, and educator on everything that has to do with violence and bullying prevention education. If you'd like more information about who we are and what our programs are, please go to our website at heroesinaction.us or give me a call if you have any questions at 727 314 2534. We hope to see you here to train.
There you go.
Boy, who is that good looking guy? Oh, man.
I saw a
Huh.
good-looking
It
lady
was
in there,
good.
but I didn't see a good-looking guy. What are you pretending there? Ray, talk to us more about heroes in action.
So, since we're talking about 2023, one of the things that we're doing or changing up is we are going to, as far as our training facility in Port Richey, Florida, we're going to a different format instead of having set group classes for families, adults, or a fighting class. We've decided to do private lessons only. So if you have a family or if you want to combine your family with another family to come and train with us, that's okay. But you do everything by appointment. So I don't have to sometimes sit and wonder if somebody's going to come in and train. Everyone's training based on appointments that they make. And it's one on one coaching where we focus on what your interests are as far as personal safety. If you're somebody that has a conceal and carry permit and wants to work on training more for handguns, firearms, gun deployment, and firearm retention, then that's what we're going to work on you with. If you want to do boxing or if you want to do hardcore self-defense, we design the curriculum to fit your needs. So you're getting what you want every time you come to train with us. We've got a QR code if you want to reserve your private lessons. Just go to that. It'll show what availability we have throughout the day, pretty much from 11 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night. And you choose the times that you'd want to come train with us.
All right, so Ray, I'm going to give you a shout out. So when I was back there in Florida, back in August. I commend you because you gave me some personal training. Thank you very much. But because at that point in time I had to use a cane, you gave me some specific instructions on how to use the cane, not only as a self defense tool, but also to use it as an offensive tool as well.
Yes.
And so that's the type of thing. Now, if I had been carrying a sidearm, then you would have given me that training as well. But you
Hmm.
gave me some other very poignant points and ways that I could defend myself because of my short-term disability that I'm dealing with right now. So I can attest to, folks, pay attention to this. I can attest to Ray's training and his adaptability in all of the things that he does. So
Thank you. I mean, that's our goal for 2023 is give our clients, our donors, our supporters what they're looking for instead of coming in and let's just go through a curriculum. My question to you is what type of training you're looking for, and I'm going to give it to you.
excellent.
And speaking of donors, if you just scan this QR code, whether if you believe in what we're doing and you believe that we're making a difference by through our anti-bully programs or self-defense programs, in order for us to keep the lights on, to continue paying for a training facility and paying for all our handouts to people, we need your help. If you're able to donate $5 or more a month on a recurring basis, that's all tax deductible for you. That would be a great benefit to us. Just click on that, go to our website, and go through the prompts to be able to make that. We are doing a fundraising cruise, Survive and Thrive adventure from Tampa Bay to Cozumel and back via the Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. We've partnered with them, and it's a 5 day 4 night cruise where on the way down, you're going to receive 3 hours of training from yours truly. And on the way back, you get 3 additional hours on top of all the other swag that you get from both Heroes in Action and the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. If you're interested in that, it's $100 deposit, and then you have to have everything paid by March 1st. And we've got cabins that are window cabins or balcony cabins. So you choose what you feel comfortable with. Get a hold of JR Travel. I think you still have JK Travel.
Yeah, I do. My apologies.
With Jackie Shelton. She's our travel agent, and she will take care of everything that you need to get ready for this adventure with Heroes in Action to Cozumel. Everything that we're going to go over is have a plan of action and exit strategy, how to use improvised tools that are around you as defensive weapons to get yourself and your family to safety. So you'll get that and a whole lot more, and a bag of chips. Uh,
And here's your QR code one more time, so that if people want to donate to the amazing cause and program that you have, whether it's helping our young people or women in self-defense programs, I love the fact that you want to give these group trainings for free. And you'll go to, boys and girls clubs and scouts and churches and ladies groups and so forth. You do all of those civic type things as well. So, but in order to do that, you need the resources to be able to do that. So, Ray, I commend
please,
you. I commend you
please
for doing
give,
that.
please give, please give. Be a donor. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. All right. Back to our subject at hand. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through a workbook, and just high level, a workbook that I put together for some of my executive coaching clients. And again, this is high level. And when I work with a client, these are some of the things that we do as we're going through. So I'm going to share my
And this
screen here.
this is something people can order if they want, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I got a couple of technical tweaks that I need to do on it. I can send you the form or the document. It's a 30-page planning guide. It is not a calendar. There are a lot of people that put out these calendars, and I've probably got 17 different calendars that I can refer to. Okay, this is
Right.
not a calendar. This is a strategic planning guide. It's to help you fill in the blanks in the calendar. So here we go. We're going to go through this again, high level. One of my favorite speakers, coaches, mentors, authors, etc., was a gentleman by the name of Zig Ziglar. He was world renowned, had a lot of great quotes, but one of the favorite ones of mine was man was designed for accomplishment, engineered for success, and endowed with the seeds of greatness. It doesn't say, now, when he says man, he means mankind. And if you want to throw in, if you want to be whatever, and you want to say womankind, okay, you can
So
do that.
yeah, we don't need to go through all the different pronouns that are out there
Yes,
that people
yes, and
identify as.
yeah,
It's all of us.
yes, everybody, people in general, okay? But the point is, everybody has greatness within them. You have to start believing it. And we're going to be talking about that belief level and how you believe in yourself even more. All right. Here's the table of contents. Now, I'm not going to go through everything that's in the table of contents. So we're going to go through the goals of the workbook. The goals, frankly, is to help you think outside the proverbial box and start you thinking in ways that maybe you have not been thinking about things in the past. So we're going to try new things. Now, Albert Einstein has a great quote. I'm going to butcher the quote a little bit, but it goes something like this: you cannot solve the problems that you have based on the knowledge that you had when you created those problems. So, in other words, we're going to come up with some new knowledge, new experience, new insights, new goals, new guidance in order to change things so we have a different 2023 from 2022. So,
Yeah,
that's one of the big things.
I've got a question for our viewers or our listeners out there both. How many of you keep doing the same thing over? It's that definition of insanity. You keep doing the same thing over and over again, same diet, same exercise.
Yep.
You hit a plateau and you go, I'm not seeing a difference, and you give up, and the cycle continues. Thinking outside the box, I like to go a little bit further. Let's just destroy the box
Yep.
and look at all those options. So, if you're somebody that keeps repeating yourself and you don't see a change, if you want to see true change in your life, let's pay attention to what Steve, my co host, has to say. Take it away.
Very good. Okay, so the goals of the workbook is to get you out of that proverbial box, throw the box away, and let's start from scratch. And I put one of my websites up here on the ticker, and it's StephenReedCoaching.Solutions. The workbook is in the process. I've got some additional information I'm putting in it. It will be available hopefully later this week. If not, just send me an email and I'll get you the workbook. Okay. So why do you plan for success? Well, Mr. Ziegler used to say all the time, we don't want to be wandering generalities. So, Ray, I know you from your self defense training, you teach people specific things. Be observant, be aware of your surroundings. That's one of the biggest things right there. Just be aware of your surroundings. And when you're more aware of your surroundings, you can be better prepared for whatever happens. Okay?
So if you use words that I use, I train people, or I teach people with a plan of action to survive, a
Yes.
plan of action to win the fight, a
Yes.
plan of action. So it's all those positive words. I want you to survive. I want you to win. I want you to get back home to your family and be safe. This is a whole nother plan that's going to help people survive and thrive. Um, Hence, survive and thrive in ventures, everybody.
Great idea. But the point is, Ray, you're teaching people how to have a plan to survive and thrive.
Right.
That's the foundation of all of the training that you do. Teach people how to avoid the situations first of all, but then if you are in one of those situations, how to walk away unscathed. as
Right.
much as possible so you can go home to your family, your loved ones, etc., and continue doing things. The same thing is true with the rest of your life, personal life, business life, relationships, etc. You've got to have a plan. But here's one of the big things that a lot of people don't recognize. If you just address things and say, well, I've got all these dreams and goals, so I'm just going to write all these things down. Okay, that's a great start. But if you don't know why you have those dreams and what your purpose is related to all of those dreams, your likelihood of accomplishing those dreams is diminished. So you really want to have the why and know what your purpose is. I'm going to give you an example. My wife and I were talking this morning about our purposes. My purpose is to be an encouragement to other people. And everything I do in my coaching world, I try to be an encourager and give people hope for tomorrow. Okay, my wife was saying this morning that she has had her purpose for her entire life of serving other people. That's just who she is. When she was, well, she's still a mom, but when she had a young son in the home, she served him all the time. When she was an executive assistant, she served her bosses all the time. Now, as an amazing real estate agent, she serves her clients all the time. So that's her purpose, to serve people. Right? I know your purpose is to teach people how to defend and protect themselves and to keep them safe so they can go home at night. So if you know what your purpose is, then you're a lot more likely to reach your dreams and goals when you write those things down. Okay? Here's a great quote from Mark Twain. The two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to guess, Ray, without going into a lot of detail in your story, when you were being bullied as a young boy and then you became the bully, those were days that were very significant that led you to who you are today in your work of teaching other people how to be anti-bully.
100%.
So you've developed your purpose in all of these things. So if we don't know our dreams, our why, our purpose, it's a lot less likely. Right? I know you don't do this. If you did, we'd have a very long offline conversation. But December 31st, well, I'm going to lose 235 pounds by March 1st. That's not going to happen. Okay. You're just
Hmm.
here's my New Year's resolution. I'm going to stop smoking. Okay. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to stop drinking. I just think and drink no more. Okay. And that lasts about 14 minutes.
There's only one thing that I've ever done really cold turkey that has worked. When I made the conscious decision to stop drinking, I stopped drinking and never went back.
Here you go. But
Um,
that wasn't a resolution.
no, that was
That,
me saying I'm done with sabotaging myself
well, it was a
and
conscious choice that you made.
hurting myself and my future and
Yep.
setting a bad example for the students that I was working with.
Yep.
So I said, enough is enough. I'm not doing it anymore. So
Okay. So you made a conscious choice. You knew that that tied in perfectly with your why and your purpose.
it
Okay.
wasn't a resolution. It was a life choice. Yes.
Exactly. But attached to your purpose was to be the best educator for your students and to be the best example for your students. Okay.
Yes.
So great choice. I'm glad you did it because, frankly, we probably would not be doing this conversation right now had you still been a drinker. So,
No.
if you would even still be alive. All right. So let's continue on. So, what are some of the self care objectives that we need to do on a daily basis? Do you affirm yourself on a daily basis? Do you know why you do the things that you do? Do you have specific things that you are telling yourself, crud, here we go. It's another day. It's another Wednesday. What in the world am I going to do today? Okay. I can't believe it. Look in the mirror and I'm a fat slob, etc., etc. I'll never lose this weight, etc. Those are all affirmations. What if we change that to positive affirmations? I feel fantastic. Today is going to be an absolutely amazing day. I've got clients that are waiting, they are clamoring to come and have a conversation with me. My dreams and goals, I am reaching my dreams and goals every single day. I'm accomplishing more. I have a fabulous attitude. I know exactly who I am and where I am going. Those are affirmations. Those are positive affirmations. If we don't do those things, then what good is it? So Ray, go back again. You said something a minute ago about the mindset teaching that you do with your clients. What do you teach them mentally when you're first starting to work with a client?
So a lot of people that come to me are coming to me from a place of fear. They have low self esteem, and they're looking for answers. So my job is to one, start focusing on building their self-esteem, giving them different tasks that or accomplishments that help build them up so they
Yep.
feel better about themselves. I work on goal setting.
Hmm.
So I want you to learn this, and I'm going to test you on this. And once you've tested and passed, then you can learn more and continue growing. So a lot of people, there's people out there that don't know how to set goals and how to achieve those goals or set time aside to be able to achieve those goals. And through the training, their confidence builds, their self esteem builds, their fear goes away to where I can say, hey, you know what? You can not only apply this to your personal life, but your business life or your schoolwork, if you're a kid in school, apply those same goal setting thought processes to other facets of your life and see where that takes you.
Okay, so Ray, let me ask you this. When you're first starting to work with somebody, whether it's a 14-year-old young boy or a 27-year-old single mom, doesn't make any difference who it is. Do you start by telling them that they need to tell themselves all the time that they're worthless, they're not going to amount to anything, they'll never learn all of the techniques, they'll never be able to defend themselves? Or do you start teaching them to have the positive affirmations of, I can do this. I know all of these different routines. I know all of the different strategies. I'm going to keep myself prepared and successful and safe all the time.
My main purpose is to get the light bulbs to go on for them to
There
have
you go.
those aha moments
There
that
you go.
says, I
Absolutely.
get it. I can do this.
Yeah,
That this
absolutely.
is doable.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to move on. That last sheet, we talked about gratitude and then some specific things. It's all in the workbook. Okay, here's another big one that I work with clients, and this is a big picture for goals. Okay, some
Hmm.
people use what is called SMART goals. Okay, now the SMART goals, what the definition is of that is they have to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and they have to be time bound. You have to have deadlines set on each of the goals. Okay, but they've got to be specific goals. I'm going to lose weight this year. Well, how much are you going to lose? Okay, I'm gonna start running. Well, it's not very specific, okay? So you've got to be specific. I'm going to lose 32 pounds between now and August 1st, okay? Whatever the goal is, okay? I'm going to start running. Well, I'm going to start running, as Zig Ziglar used to say. He coined the phrase the BAM method, block in a mailbox. The first day he started running, he ran a block. He stopped, he turned around, he walked back home. The second day, he ran a block in a mailbox. Stopped, turned around, walked back home. Third day, block in two mailboxes. Turned around, walked back home. And then he ran a half a mile, then he ran a mile, then 2 miles. And as long as he was physically able to, he ran every single day. And it didn't make any difference if it was 20 degrees below outside in Detroit or 120 degrees in Phoenix. He ran every single day that he was physically able to. Now, if he was sick, obviously he didn't run. Okay. But that is dedication. Now, I'm not saying that he ran outside when it was 20 degrees below. He was a smart man. He went to the
He's
gym in
on
the
a
hotel.
treadmill.
Exactly. So those are some of the things. So have SMART goals. Again, these goals are specific, they're measurable. You have to know exactly what it is. The goals, in addition to that, are achievable. I'm going to lose 237 pounds in the next 3 months. That's not achievable. It's not going to happen. Okay. They have to be relevant. Okay. I'm going to run a marathon. Okay. Well, it's not relevant to who I am and what I do. That's not part of my dream. So it's got to be relevant. And the last thing is time bound. You've got to have deadlines to those specific goals. So those are some critical things that we've got with this. I'm going backwards. I'm not supposed to be doing that. Okay. So let's go back and let's start doing some self awareness. Uh,
Well,
really, just
before we go into the self-awareness,
yep.
I think we need to get into how people can, through self-awareness, if I have a pain or if I have something going on with my body, if I ignore it or don't pay attention to it, that pain can get worse. But you've got something that kind of helps with that pain and helps with that self awareness that people can
I do.
use to say, you know what, I'm going to try this. And if the pain goes away, then there's something to this. If the pain doesn't go away, then maybe I should do some more research and be
Yeah,
more self aware. Can you
good idea.
share some of that with our
Well,
audience?
why don't I let my video do the talking for me?
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Introducing LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells. A true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. No drugs, no injections, no kidding.
So, Ray, actually, I'm going to show another little set of slides here, and we're going to run through this very quickly. What the video was talking about was a stem cell activation patch. Now, that patch is just a simple little wafer thin patch. And I don't know if you can see this or not. Real thin. It's about the size of a quarter, a little bit bigger than a quarter. You simply peel the backing off, stick it on your body, and it tells your stem cells to go back to work. By the time we reach the age 60, our stem cells are pretty much dormant. So I look at some of these slides, and I finally figured out what I want to be when I get older. I want to be younger. Now, here's the funny thing with this. The company LifeWave has done countless research studies through universities and other testing organizations, and they have discovered that using these patches will literally reverse your aging process. It tells your body to go backwards in time, and it does all kinds of things. Now, I'm not going to make any medical claims, but it's going to tell your body to reset. It's going to give you more energy. How about better sports performance? So if somebody comes and works out with you, Ray, they're going to be able to work out longer, and they're also going to be able to recover faster after they've done a workout. So instead of a 30-minute workout, maybe they can do a 45-minute workout. Instead of an hour-long workout, maybe it's an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes, and they're rejuvenated faster after that workout. You're going to get better sleep. You're going to have dramatic pain relief. Uh, I'm a walking testimonial for pain relief after major surgeries in the past few months. I didn't have the long term pain as a result of those surgeries. Wrinkle reduction. These stem cell patches actually activate the growth of collagen in our bodies, which tightens the face muscles and it reduces the wrinkles that we have in our bodies. Scar reduction, well, after one of the surgeries, the scars were almost completely gone in just a few months. Now, unfortunately, the doctor had to cut me open again, so I've got new scars that I'm going to be working with. So, Youth renewal, again, we've already talked about the fact that this actually turns the aging clock backwards. So learn about LifeWave and the amazing technology and how to stimulate your own stem cells and make sure that you're living a more youthful life, if at all possible. So,
So when we were at the LifeWave conference and the
yes, sir.
founder of the X39 patch was on stage and he was talking about he was playing sports with his kids or his son and they're getting all rough and he got all beat up and everything. He goes, but wait a second, it's okay because my body heals itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
so he goes, I could abuse my body that much more because I have something that is helping it regenerate and
Yeah,
heal. So
yeah,
I thought that was kind of funny
excellent.
that he said that. But
Yeah. So anyway,
anyway,
so reach out. I mean, I'd love to share some information. I've got a lot of videos that I can share that talk about the product testimonial videos. There's so much to share about it. So anyway, let's go back and resume what we've been talking about. This page is all about life goals. This is the big picture goals. It's not the little ones day to day. This is the big picture goals. And we're going to talk about your physical, emotional, intellectual, relational, and your professional goals. And if you don't have all of those things big picture lined out, then again, you're going to be a wandering generality. So you're going to do a self-awareness assessment, okay? And you're going to ask yourselves questions like, I am a human being that loves, fill in the blank. What do you like about life? What do you like doing? Okay. I want to do such and such. I am driven by. I'm inspired by. Those kinds of things. One of the things that inspires me, Ray, and I know you've got some similar things, but I'm inspired when I've been working with a client, whether it's an individual, a couple, an executive, whatever it is. And after we've been working together for a period of time, and they call me up or they send me an email or a text and they say, Steve, you have revolutionized the way I think in some of these things. I know you get the same kinds of accolades when you're coaching somebody in martial arts and self defense. So, how does that make you feel when you have a student that's gone through a program and they come back to you and they say, Mr. Amanat, I feel so much more confident today? How does that make you feel?
well, that I've done my job. It's
Yeah,
that sense of accomplishment. You know, my goal, my sense of accomplishment is paid off by helping other people get their sense of accomplishments where they're living life to a whole nother level.
exactly.
So if they're not um, getting those types of needs fulfilled, then I'm not doing my job.
Yeah.
And that's so I go out of my way, bend over backwards to make sure the people that I work with are always moving forward and constantly
Yeah.
achieving those successes and achieving those goals and visions.
Yeah. You know, Ray, one of the first things that I noticed when you and I first started engaging almost 3 years ago, you and I have the same mindset. And that is we want to give our students, our clients, our the people that we're working with, whatever the category is, we always want to give them more value than what they were anticipating.
Exactly.
And I'll give you a case in point. I was working with a brand new client last night, and my sessions are typically an hour in length. Well, we went for about an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes because they were on the verge of a breakthrough, and I wanted to keep giving to them, pouring into them. And I know from personal experience, you work the same way. There's one more
Yes.
thing I want to teach you. I want you to try this particular stance one more time. I want you to try this move one more time. Pinch me one more time. Ray, I got to tell you, when you were showing me some of those things, your number one self defense tool was pinching the stuffing out of somebody, but knowing
Flesh
where to
grab,
pinch them.
flesh grab, flesh grab.
Right.
Yes.
Man, that hurt. I can still feel it. So anyway, all right. Here's one of my favorite pages, and this is brainstorming. Now, ideally, you want to do the brainstorming with a clean sheet of paper. Maybe it's a whiteboard, a big wall whiteboard, or maybe it's a piece of tag board, whatever the case is. One of the great things you can do, go to one of your local office supply stores and get one of those large
Dry
tablets, the
erase.
post-it note tablet,
Right.
okay?
Right.
And get some marking pens and just start writing some of the stuff on there. If time and money were of no concern to you, what would you do? What would life be like tomorrow if time and money were of no concern? So
Well,
brainstorm.
I would be on vacation like Joe Biden, going somewhere in the Virgin Islands, I guess, because
Uh,
time and money
y-
is not of concern to him.
uh, you know what, Ray? That would last about a week, and then you'd be back at it training somebody else on their self defense needs and desires and goals. And you'd probably have the Ray Amanat or Heroes in Action schools all over the country teaching your
Yes,
same methodologies and so forth. Okay, so
right.
let's face it, you want to be the Fred Astaire of personal defense.
Yeah, I mean, if we can, if that's a good idea, that's a goal I can set for myself. If I can do
Exactly.
a certification program where I certify instructors
Yep.
to continue the Heroes in Action curriculum
Yep.
in their own training centers.
Absolutely. All right, Ray, let me dig in, and we're starting to run low on time. I want to dig in just a couple of different things. One of the things that I work with clients is we've got to take a look backwards before we can look forward. Okay? Yeah, and
Right.
you said it earlier, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is the definition for insanity. Thank you, Albert Einstein. Okay?
Hmm.
So we've got to look at what didn't work in the past so we know not to repeat that going forward. So if we stop repeating those things that don't work, then we're more likely to become successful. For instance, I mentioned that I tried a different marketing system, another marketing tool from right before Thanksgiving until about 2 weeks ago. And about 2 weeks ago, and I said, this isn't working. I got to change that. That did not work. So I went back to what I knew did work and I picked up 3 new clients. Okay. So we've
Hmm.
got to evaluate if you eating those, chocolate bonbons every night from 7 to 9 isn't working for you, maybe you should stop eating those chocolate bonbons. Okay.
Yeah, go to Long John's or Krispy Kremes.
All right.
I'm
You're
kidding. I'm
you're
kidding.
priceless. Yeah, but also look at what did work, okay? And if it worked, repeat it. Do it over and over again, okay?
So you have people that are in relationships that it's the constant, if it's a female, why am I always dating these guys that end up being jerks, or buttholes or whatever? Why can't I meet somebody new? But they keep going to the same places, or they keep picking people that have the same personalities that they're initially
Exactly.
attracted to, and then
Exactly.
they're right in that same boat again. It's how do you break that cycle? And this is what this workbook looks like it's doing. It's
Right.
helping people break those cycles.
Right. I got to laugh. And please understand, folks, I'm not trying to discriminate against anybody or any group of people. But based on your analogy, if you keep finding guys that are you keep going to that biker bar all the time and you're going to get biker bar mentality people. Now, I am not discriminating. I have no problems with people riding a bike. That is not what I'm saying.
Hey,
But
I'm one of them.
we've got that image, though, of the biker bars and so forth. We see it on TV. Anyway, but there are a lot of really great bikers. I've got a couple of very good friends that are bikers and so forth. So, anyway, this is Ray. This is kind of a real quick high level. I'm just going to screen through a couple of additional pages.
All
We're
right.
going to look at your financial planning, how to get new clients, what marketing things you need to do. What were the obstacles that you had last year? Who are some of the key people that you want to meet? Now, you've probably got some people that you would like to meet. So those are some of the big things that we need to put on the list. Your health and fitness goals. What are some of the other things? Yeah, well, we've already used both of these quotes from Albert Einstein. doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And we cannot solve our problems using the same thinking that we used when we created them. Okay, so stop doing that. In the words of the great Bob Newhart, stop it or I'll bury you alive in a box. Okay. If you don't
Right.
understand that, then you got to look up the video, and it's available on YouTube. I'm not promoting YouTube, but look up "Buried Alive in a Box" and you will get a great laugh. So anyway, so that's just a real quick overview on the program. There's a lot more that I have to offer in this particular system, but the key here, Ray, is getting people to think outside the box, really look at what worked last year, what didn't work, and then how can I build on the things that did work as I'm going forward.
So, having a coach, the benefits of having a coach or a mentor. I think what you do and what I do is we're kind of like a tour guide.
Yeah,
We're just
well
taking
put.
people on a journey,
Yep,
and showing some of the dangers of that journey, based on our experiences, and then letting people learn from their mistakes on their
yeah,
journey. But we're there to support them, and it's not an "I told you so," but it's if you have blinders on and you're not seeing the big picture, we're helping you get the blinders
exactly,
off. We're being your eyes
exactly.
so that you can see more.
Yeah, well put,
um,
well put.
is is there anything more to add to that as far as
Well,
having a coach or a trainer?
yeah, experience is probably the best teacher. Now, what makes me different from a lot of people is I've been doing this for 30 years. I know you've been coaching people in martial arts for 40 years. Okay, so it's amazing how you look so young to have been doing this for 40 years. It's probably the LifeWave patches. Anyway, but experience is the best teacher, but somebody else's experience is a better teacher. If you don't have to hurt yourself and you can learn from somebody else that hurt themselves, that's a great teaching opportunity. So,
Right.
and I know you've been hurt enough. I bet you've got plenty of broken bones and so forth from competitions, but you've also broken a few bones in the process. Not intentionally, not being malicious and evil and mean spirited, but it just happens when you're your line of work. Okay. So, but let's see if we can prevent you from having those injuries, keep you better protected all the way around, keep you safer, going home every night. And for me, if you want to achieve more in life, whether it's in your personal life or in your business life, I'm going to help you get past some of those obstacles and the roadblocks so they are no longer the challenges that are holding you back. So that's what I do.
That's awesome. And I really encourage our viewers to send an email to Steve to get a copy of this workbook,
Yeah,
and
happy to help.
let him be a coach. Let him guide you to a healthier, happier, more successful 2023.
One last time, here's my email address info at StephenReedMinistries.com, and I will definitely respond to that very quickly. So, Ray, what do we ask our listeners and viewers? What do we ask of them every week?
Always, always, always go to our Facebook page, like or love. We'd prefer you to
Yep,
love our
absolutely.
show. Comment and always share the videos, because we our goal is to be thought provoking, to get people to have a healthy conversation about taboo topics.
Yeah,
If you go to our YouTube page, please like that, subscribe to our page,
yep,
comment on there, share. Let us know
yes,
what you think. Your comments are valuable to us because it helps us guide our format for future shows.
yeah. And we are in the planning stages right now. We've got a whole list of other taboo topics. We will more than likely be revisiting things like the sex trafficking and drug trafficking and violence in the home and bullying and those kinds of things. We're going to look at more at the some of the LGBTQ, X, Y, M, Z, Z, top, whatever, all of those other things. We'll be taking another look at our First Amendment rights, our Second Amendment, all of those kinds of things that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And we're hopefully going to avoid being rejected or banned or censored and those kinds of things. But if we are, and such is life, being part of the OBBM network, uh, we're having a blast and we're reaching more and more people.
Absolutely.
So, Ray,
Well,
I think
guys,
we're out of time.
we wish you all from here at Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve a very happy new year.
Absolutely.
Please be safe. I know there's a lot of drunk driving and idiots that
Yeah.
shoot guns inappropriately. So be safe with
Yeah.
everything that goes on around you, because we want to see you or hear from you again in 2023.
Yeah.
So please have a happy new year, everybody.
I think
Steve?
as a tag to that, use your common sense.
Mhm.
And if you don't have any common sense, borrow it from somebody. Don't do stupid things. Okay. Your
Yeah.
life is too precious. So, Ray, it's been a pleasure. 2022 is almost done. I will see you in the new year.
Absolutely. Happy New Year, Steve.
All right. Thanks, Ray. You too. Bye bye.